Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leaders to Influencers in 6 Months program. I am super excited to be launching this new project that can take someone who haven't posted any video of themselves ever to someone who has a library of video content with the potential of changing the world in ways no one can anticipate. This is also part of my effort to document my learning, and in this case, my transformation from someone who was probably in your shoes, camera shy and hate the way I sound, to someone who hosts a podcast and publishes video content daily. So, with this presentation, I decided to share how I did it and give you all the shortcuts, tools, habits you need to go from 0 to 1 and start building your audience. So if you're someone who are tired of ignoring that inner voice that wants you to share your opinions and ideas and gifts to the world, then this program is for you. So welcome once again to Leaders to Influencers in 6 Months program. My name is Naja Faisal, and I'm delighted to show you step by step how to find your purpose, build a personal brand, create content daily, and grow your influence without taxing your busy schedule. I'm giving it all away today with all the details. So have a notepad ready and let's dive in. Before we begin, let's get this out of the way. Am I selling you something? The short answer is no. This presentation is everything I know to date that works in taking people who never made a video showing their faces to making content creation a habit deeply embedded in their lifestyles. I'm giving away all the secrets, tools, everything completely for free. Now, I understand that some of you are way too busy to build this system themselves and would want to delegate this completely or partially to me and my team. In this case, please don't hesitate to reach out. All right, so let's talk about who this program is really for. This program is tailored not just for those at the top, but for anyone eager to grow, challenge themselves, and find their voice. It's also for those who aspire to lead, those with a burning desire to stand up, speak out, and make a difference. And finally, this is for the leaders out there. You're the ones running companies, guiding teams, and setting visions for your organizations. You understand the importance of having a voice, not just within the walls of your organization, but out in the wider world. You've probably tried few pieces of content here and there, spoke at a bunch of events, or been guests on podcasts before, and want to take things in your own hands and have control over your narrative. So this is also for you. Now, when we talk about becoming an influencer, it is important to understand what does that word mean. To me, it isn't just about large social media following. It's someone who adds value to the conversations online, someone who inspires positive change within a community, someone who has a deep desire to share knowledge, express ideas, and make a genuine impact. I see an influencer as an active participant in the dialogue, not a passive observer. Someone who is always seeking personal and professional growth, and someone who wants to be discoverable and accessible on the internet. So, what problems are we solving and why 6 months? I thought about this to great length and witnessed firsthand from my own experience and the experience of others around me who attempted to create content, and found out that these are the 5 obstacles of becoming a content creator. In other words, these are the 5 reasons why people quit. Number 1, psychological barriers. This is the most common reason why most people don't produce videos of themselves online. They have all sorts of insecurities and fears of what other people think or What if they said something wrong or offended someone, etc., etc.? Now, if you overcome the psychological barriers, your second obstacle is not knowing why you're doing what you're doing. You see, oftentimes people start producing content thinking it's a shortcut for success. They think that as soon as they upload their first videos, they're gonna go viral and wake up the next day as Joe Rogan or Mr. Beast. And when that doesn't happen, they give up and quit. And that's why knowing your why will keep you motivated regardless of the number of views and the struggles to build an audience. The third reason is lacking technical skills. Now, social media are making it very easy to create content from your phone. But as you know, only high quality content will surface. And thus, it's important to produce content that meets at least a minimum acceptable standard, whether from a video production and editing standpoint or at the content and delivery level. And this presentation is probably one way to equip you with the skills and mindset needed for building a sustainable content creation system. Now, assuming you overcame psychological barriers of public speaking, internalized your why, and developed the technical skills to produce high quality content, the fourth obstacle is the discipline and accountability. If no one is expecting you to show up, you got to muster the self discipline to put in the work day in and day out without seeing immediate results. This can be a lonely journey that causes people to quit. Good news is that there is a solution, so hang tight as I'm going to reveal a creative way to keep you disciplined. Finally, people give up too early. Just like working out and eating healthy, habits need at least 6 months of consistency to form. So that's why committing to a 6 months is an integral part of this program. This means that you need to put aside time and budget, not for 1 month, but for 6 months to a year before evaluating the returns on your investment. I wish it was easier, but just like majority of startups fail in the first year, nothing in life comes easy. So keep this link in your bookmarks to come back to it whenever you face challenges. Hopefully, it keeps you on track. Now, for those wondering why I chose to work on this project, let me explain. I am someone constantly searching for meaning in what I do, and I've recently discovered that I'm not alone. So I dug deeper and read the best selling book, Man's Search for Meaning, by a Holocaust survivor, Viktor Frankl, and found out that this is highly relevant today, just like back in the concentration camps. There is a global crisis of meaning. People are pursuing what society expects, only to find that what they are chasing is meaningless to them. So I believe that helping others find their purpose and amplifying their voice is something that I find very meaningful and adds value to the world. It's also something I love doing and have accumulated over the years a diverse skill set that enables me to do at the highest level. Okay, enough introductions, Naja. Let's get to it, shall we? Here are the steps, and this is our agenda for today. Step 1, identify your ikigai, aka your purpose. Step 2, build your personal brand. Step 3, develop your content strategy. Step 4, find a conversation partner. Step 5, tools and equipment you need. Step 6, record, edit, and publish. And step 7, monetize. Step 1 in the Leaders to Influencers program is identifying your purpose. As discussed, we're living in a crisis of meaning, and this is especially important for the journey you're about to embark on. Because the process of building an audience on the internet is long and tedious, and without knowing why you're doing what you're doing, it's easy to quit. In fact, 90% of podcasters don't get past episode 3, and 90% of those who do don't get past episode 20. So, just like weight loss, the challenge is not losing weight, the challenge is staying fit. So, knowing your why will keep you going. Now, if you already have that part figured out, great, then skip to the next step. If not, here are some tools and tips you may use. First off, set up time to do the IKIGAI exercise. It's a beautiful Japanese concept that helps you find your reason for being. Imagine waking up every day knowing that what you do is in perfect alignment with your passions, skills, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. Knowing this isn't just fulfilling, it's empowering. Once you had a clear idea of your purpose, the next best thing you do is to start. Block time on your calendar every week or every month to work on it. At first, expect that you're not going to be good, but eventually you'll get there. Finally, stop worrying about the outcome. When we set up to do something, we often get overwhelmed by fear. We worry too much about the outcome. What if this happens? What if that happens? The fact of the matter is that the mind is very much like a lens of a camera. You get whatever it is that you focus on. Realize that the outcome or the future is not in your control and focus on what is. By the way, we do workshops on the Ikigai. So if you want to attend, please reach out and ask me about it so I can share with you how you can join. And one last thing on this slide. If you're a ChatGPT Plus subscriber, I created a GPT on the GPT store that guides you step by step on how you can find your Ikigai or reason for being. So please reach out to, and I'll send you the link to check it out. Now that you've got your purpose figured out, next step is to communicate it to the world. This step is all about building your personal brand on the internet. A brand is often mistaken by a logo, and this is far from the truth. Your personal brand is simply how you package your purpose, values, and personality and present them to the world. It's important because just like a bottle of water can be sold for a nickel on the street, the same bottle can be sold for hundreds of dollars in a 5-star hotel. Personal branding can maximize your returns by placing you in an environment that knows your worth. So, in terms of copywriting, you'll need a short purpose statement to go in your bio with a single URL call to action. Use this template. I help ideal customer profile, or if you don't have a customer, you can say the ideal profile of the audience that you're targeting, whether like stay-at-home moms or mid-level engineers, you name it. So I help that particular segment of the audience achieve dream outcome within a time frame without the obstacles by your unique method followed by your call to action. In my case, for example, I help leaders become influencers within 6 months without overwhelming their busy schedules using the 7-step program you're listening to. Go to parislab.com to find out more. Now, not all of the elements in this template are needed, but it's an important exercise in how to craft your statement of purpose. As I promised you, I'm going to reveal all the tools I use. So in terms of the AI tools to help you write, there are so many right now. I use ChatGPT Plus for most of the heavy lifting. Claude AI is my second choice, followed by Gemini. Be careful though not to rely on AI too much and lose your voice in the process. Because the worst thing you could do to your personal brand is to sound like an AI. Use AI for brainstorming and get some drafts, but I wouldn't use the exact wording. Iterate until something resonates with who you are and how you communicate. Remember, the whole idea is to present a polished version of your authentic self. Another element you need to take care about when you're building a personal brand is the visual appeal. Here's a common mistake I see people do. They would fire up Canva and start designing their LinkedIn header, and they fall in love with the design they made, probably because it's the first time they even design anything. They also clutter their design with a lot of text and elements, crazy effects, and font types. So, my tip here is that before putting it out there, I recommend sending it to a pro designer that you know of and ask them to critique it. Oftentimes, they'll be happy to give you feedback and show you gaps in the design that you wouldn't have noticed. The only way to enhance your taste in design is with exposure to great design. So try following great designers on Instagram or find an app called Behance to discover a great portfolio of designers. Canva and Figma are the two most popular design tools right now, and I use them both. Finally, your personal brand won't be complete without a single URL landing page. I know. Some people argue that you don't need a personal website, and I understand and would encourage you to start producing content even without a personal website. But I recommend it for many reasons. First, the domain name, your first name, last name.com is an important part of your identity and you should own it. I use GoDaddy for my domains, but are many services out there, but GoDaddy serves the purpose for me. After you get your domain name, you'll need an email management platform like Mailchimp or Convertkit. If you want to be fancy, you can go for like a fully blown CRM like HubSpot, but it's not needed. All these platforms, in addition to email management, they offer you the ability to develop landing pages using no-code templates. What I recommend though is not use the templates. Make it a clean, minimalistic page with one goal and one goal only: to convince visitors to give you their email addresses. Someone giving out their email address on the internet is like someone handing over their business card to you in an actual physical networking event. It's a permission to build and nurture this relationship. And you do that by gatekeeping your hero content behind an email form. For example, if you go to parislab.com, you will see what I mean. Now, once you have your landing page set up, whenever you publish a long video, you write an email to your audience telling them about it. Once that is done, you will need to optimize all your social media channels and place your purpose statement plus your call to action with the URL on all of them. Step 3 is to develop content strategy. Now, here's why you need a content strategy. Number one, think of it as a plan once, act 100 times tool. And number two, you need the content strategy to make sure your content aligns with your purpose. And number three, you will also need it to understand your audience. Where can they be found? And are they on TikTok, X, on LinkedIn or Instagram, Facebook or Snapchat? What terminologies do they use? What keywords are popular? What questions they have about your field? So to develop this strategy, you'll need to take your purpose and ask yourself, what field am I in? Let us use my purpose, for example. I help leaders become influencers, which means that I could be in the personal branding field, executive coaching. I can also be in content creation and content marketing. Now, we take these fields or these phrases and put them on Google. and notice what words people are using to search for this field. In the popular questions, you can discover what questions they have. I may also want to check out Google Trends and see hot keywords they're searching for. Now I can also go to YouTube because YouTube is the second largest search engine, and I would check what other terms people are using. Finally, if you want to be a pro, you can subscribe to vidIQ. It's another tool. And you can also use besthashtags.com to further conduct your content search. Now you take the most popular keywords and convert them into content categories. I call them pillars or verticals, where every month you're going to produce content for. Once you have 3 or 4 main content pillars, you start listing questions underneath each. Answering these questions will be the content you're going to create. Then you choose 10 to 15 questions per month and plot them on your calendar. Here, you can use Google Sheet or Notion database if you want to be fancy. Finally, you may do some research, finding some bullet points to answer these questions, or simply answer with what you know. And that is how you develop a content strategy for your personal brand. Congratulations, you're now halfway through. Next, you'll need a conversation partner. Remember the obstacle of discipline and accountability preventing people from committing to content creation long term? Well, this is a smart solution for that. Here's why: accountability. Just like having a gym partner makes you more committed to going to the gym, a conversation partner will keep you on track to produce content. It's natural. Some people, I'm one of them, feel it extremely hard to speak to the camera. We're social beings and we are not bred to speak to a device. Having a conversation partner makes creating content fun and easy. To get a conversation partner, you may recruit a friend or a family member to take on this role. However, make sure they take it seriously. Perhaps offer them an incentive to do it. Otherwise, you may go to UpWork or Fiverr and hire a freelancer to be your conversation partner. Or if you want to work with me or my team, reach out and we can arrange that. This is perhaps the favorite step for most creators wannabers. A lot of people start with buying a lot of expensive equipment, and this is a mistake. You aren't a content creator until you publish 100 videos at least. It doesn't matter what software or hardware you use. The goal is to publish content. I started using Zoom. I know Google Meets is also a great tool because you'll save the recordings in Google Drive, which is easy to manage than on your local hard drive. If you want to be a little bit more advanced, you can use RiversideFM, which I currently use, or StreamYard or Restream if you like to stream live. These are the tools that lets you record the conversation you're having with your conversation partner. Some tools allow you to edit in the same platform, like RiversideFM, for example, which why I choose it. Some others you would have to download the file and use another video editing platform like CapCut or Final Cut or Adobe Premiere or even the iMovie would work. In terms of hardware, you can start with your phone as a webcam. Your phone has a great camera. All you need is a stand and some app you need to install. You can also buy an HD webcam. They are not expensive and they record high quality. If you want to be fancy, you can buy a mirrorless DSLR, but make sure it has something called clean HDMI and it doesn't need a video card because then you will have to pay a little bit more for that. A mic is quite important. The most popular podcast mics are the Shure and the Rode. So you can check for the one that fits your needs. Just make sure you pick up a mic that works with USB and doesn't require like a switchboard or some other complicated machinery. Then you need lighting. It's probably the most important and best investment you'll make, because lighting is going to make all the difference in the quality of your appearance. Finally, you'll need a good backdrop. Pick something that fits the content you're producing and matches your personality. If you're the creative type, have interesting stuff in the backdrop. If you're the minimalist, then have a minimalist backdrop. Now you have everything set for your first recording. Make sure your calendar is blocked with no distractions. Your conversation partner is ready to ask the questions. Hop on the call and hit the record button. When you finish, allocate time for editing or send the files to a video editor. You can hire someone on Fiverr or UpWork and ask them for the following edits. Number 1, a long form video. 10 to 20 minutes video with the best moments of the recording session. Number 2, short form. 10 to 15 Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts, as well as videos for LinkedIn and X and other channels you see fit. These are usually vertical and less than 1 minute in length. If you'd like to engage us in the video editing portion, we'll be happy to do so. Another cool thing to do is to repurpose the transcript of the conversation and use ChatGPT to generate captions and blog posts using the exact wording mentioned in your answers. This will preserve your tone of voice and allow your content to live in text format. This is also great for discoverability on search engines. Finally, once you have the files, put them on your phone and start publishing one video per day. You can also use a scheduling tool like Hootsuite or Buffer, where you upload all of the videos at once with their captions and schedule them for the entire month, and they will publish auto-magically. Now you've reached the last step, which is monetization. You may be thinking that content creation is a long-term investment and we shouldn't be thinking about monetization until at least 6 months in, and you may be right. But if you're serious about your commitment to content creation, you may as well plan your monetization strategy from the very beginning. Here's how. As I mentioned earlier, you will need your domain name and a landing page set up so that you can convert the traffic into leads. For the landing page to be effective in capturing the email address of your visitors, you'll need to offer a hero content in return. This hero content is called the lead magnet. The more you condense value in the lead magnet, the more effective it is in converting visitors into leads. If you're offering a service to customers, then make sure you ask for video testimonials. Ask your audience to refer others who might find your content valuable. Slowly but surely, you will have loyal followers who engage with every content you post. Make sure you reward them by giving them a community and give them moderation roles. Now, if you're using all the tools that I mentioned, the subscriptions can quickly add up. One way to offset that cost is by joining the affiliate programs of these tools, where when your audience subscribe to the same tools, you'll get a small cut. Don't ignore platforms like Patreon, School, and others where your community could choose to support you financially so you can keep adding value to their lives. Finally, look at brands that align with your purpose and approach them for sponsorship deals. I would say do that after at least having like 50 pieces of content out there, so they can know that you're serious about content creation for the long term. That's it. There you have it. These are all the steps needed to become an influencer. Do these for 6 months, and I can guarantee you that you'll be among the 1% who are making a difference in the world. Thank you.